Hopefully that will come in and we'll go now. Good morning,
Yes.
good morning. How are we doing this morning? It is episode number 3 with Breakfast with Ben and Cheryl.
Yes, number 3. 3 weeks.
It's been so fun.
It has.
It's for those who are just joining us, I'm Ben Murphy.
I'm Cheryl Murphy.
And we are owners and operators with MurphyWerx Productions. We had this inspiration to connect with everyone using YouTube once a week to share our insights, working together as a couple, running a business together, living together. And we just kind of wanted to share our journey along the way. And hopefully you can join us and make sure your phone is on silent.
Yes. I think that's my computer.
Oh, is that the problem? Okay.
Sorry. So last week we got into focus on foundation. And that started because when we started this year, we needed like a theme, something to hold on to, something, because we're marketers first. That's where we started with marketing. And we just needed some way to brand our goals for this year and like a focus. And we whittled it down like we really needed to focus on foundation.
And
So
for those for those that don't know, when we started, we were Murphy Marketing Solutions, which we handled everything: social media, graphic design, websites, jack of all trades. And like Cheryl said, we really needed to reel that in. And what do we do? What do we enjoy doing? Where's our passion lie?
It's not about doing 5,000 things well. It's about doing those few things 5,000 times.
That's exactly right. And you spread yourself too thin, and it's going to show. And I can say that not only am I happier, professionally within myself, but it's given the business such a clear focus of just like,
Yes.
oh, that's what they do.
Yes.
Not, well, I think
Right.
they, and it just,
And we got that a lot. Like, what do you guys do?
oh, you do that? I didn't know you did that.
Yeah. And that was hard for us to overcome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as an entrepreneur, as a business person, you gotta. Good morning, Jody
Good
Brown.
morning, Jody.
As a business owner or as a person, you got to do those things to survive and do the work that you need to do.
Right.
And I feel like that was kind of paying our dues.
Yeah. And we got to figure it out.
Yeah, and it's been great ever since. So.
We want to help y'all figure it out.
Focus on foundation has been the MurphyWerx theme throughout.
It's on our mirror in the bathroom.
And if you've ran into us past the year, you've probably heard us say it more than once. So
Yes.
I'm not going to apologize because you got to have a solid core before we can start building.
Good morning, Meg Rich.
Oh, what's happening?
Ah, she got it. Riches in the niches.
I feel like that's appropriate. All right. So focus on foundation. You have to have a solid core before you can start building.
Yes.
And so where does that come from?
Or why? Why? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?
Why are we doing this? What do you mean by this? Do you mean the show? This, going out and meeting people, running a business? What is that drive?
Yeah. What started as our why for MurphyWerx was to tell, as small business owners, it's hard to get your why and your message out in front of people. People just see the what. They just see what you do. They don't see why or understand why you do the things you do. And that's a big part of the story. And that's where that loyalty comes from. And I love their story. I love what they stand for. And that's why I want to support them. And that's my why on why I like to, meet with other small business owners and tell their story. And even that goes down, yes, we shoot a lot of real estate and boats, but that's still selling that lifestyle. We want to share that emotion that they're going to feel living in those spaces or experiencing the boating lifestyle and being able to go out on the water or look out over the water or enjoy
that view from that house that you built 20 years ago on a river. Yeah, and that's tough. It's when you meet somebody, oh, nice to meet you. What do you do?
Yeah.
And that's just But it really takes that. I mean, we had some tough conversations with ourselves, and it was
very tough.
Because it's that, and to go into my whys, it's you called me out like that. It's that same passion. It's tough being a business owner, being an entrepreneur, making it for yourself, and the more people that know about what you're doing, and more importantly, why you're doing it. Well, why did you decide to do this trade? To go back to Meg Rich's point of there's riches in the niches. We are so niche specific anymore, and in a time when we're so interconnected, it's about doing that one thing exceptionally well. What is that one thing you do? And that's what your audience needs to know. And something that I really have motto I've really tried to not trademark, but instill is authenticity has an audience. People just want to know why you're doing this thing. To get real topical, iPhone just came out with the new iPhone 7 and doesn't have a headphone jack, and this is revolutionary, and oh my gosh, how do we listen to music? I can't charge my phone and listen. But they're still sold out until November.
Yeah.
Because enough people are like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And they've just created that culture.
They believe in the brand. They believe in the company.
And they push innovation. They're, all right, we're going to be the first one to not have a headphone jack and see how you can react.
Yeah.
And I delve into that because a good start of why is the Simon Sinek TED Talk.
Yes. I love that one.
Start with why.
Yep.
Recently rewatched that one. It's like one of those ones that you need to put on your 6-month or at least your yearly calendar.
It affects you differently every time you hear it.
It really does. We've watched it, I believe, in the spring of this year, and then we rewatched it again this past week, just because it's such a solid core of focus on foundation.
And we'll put the link down below.
Yes, excellent. It's like 18 minutes,
Yeah,
so it's a great lunch video.
Yes.
Knock it out. And one of the things that really stuck out with me was Samuel Pierpont Langley. I've been saying that all this morning trying to.
Do you know who that is?
Do you know who that is? Well, apparently, Samuel Pierpont Langley, he was around in the early 1900s, and he was a well-funded gentleman that was interested in the power of flight, or creating airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
you did not turn on. He didn't turn off his phone, and he said it.
Dang it. Ugh.
Gah.
Yeah. Okay. So he was after the power of flight. I don't know how else to say that, but to create the first airplane.
The foundation was there. The money, the opportunity.
He had the resources to hire the best people. The reason that we've probably never heard of him is because the day that the Wright brothers took flight and created their first airplane, he quit. Because he didn't have the money, the fame, the power, and the notoriety to go along with that. Whereas the Wright brothers, they invested all their time and profits from their bicycle shop.
And they just wanted to create something fun,
and
neat and different.
And instead of, even once they took flight, instead of reaching out and saying, "Oh my gosh, that's amazing! How can you use these resources to make this even better?" I quit.
Yeah.
And it's just, it really makes you focus on that. It's not about the money.
No, it's not.
And that's been the one thing that I've learned about it. The more people know that why, it just happens.
And then you focus on that why, and you focus on what you do so well, and you become an expert at it. But then you find other people that are your competition that have your same skill sets. However, they excel in your weaknesses.
Yep.
And instead of viewing them as competition, look at them as partners, people that you can potentially work with. And that's where some of our best work comes from, is working with other people who have those super strengths and our weaknesses. And, rising tide lifts all boats kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And, it's not about money, it's about community and lifting everyone up together. And that's our why of why we started this show.
Yes.
Because we get a lot of questions and ask, how do we work together? How do we make it work? And, it's tough. It's tough for a lot of other people. And we want to help them work through that via our experiences and just sharing our story, our authentic struggles, hardships, and wins even.
And that's all it is. This is our experience. This is not the guidebook on things you should do. It's just we love connecting with everyone and telling that story and learning why other people are doing it, because it's just so much more fun when you're able to connect to people that share that same passion. So even if you've got an opportunity, there's like, I don't do portrait work. We don't do portrait photography. And instead of trying to go after that thing that I could do it, I know how to.
We could do it.
I've got the equipment to get that effect. Wouldn't it be so much better if I could just, hey, go talk to this, go talk to them. They are the best, and just have that. You already have that understanding, or those people, and you connected with those people that are they're not going to turn around and try to
steal the clients.
Yeah,
we all work together.
That's I know, I get that. I mean, it's
an apprehensive thing. I mean, it's a trust thing, and I'm sure there's going to be a time where we get burned. We've been burned. And
people I've talked to now that I connect with on a regular basis that are competitors, we share in stories of being burned.
Yeah,
it happens, but it's just taking that time to build that foundation,
and you got to keep looking.
Yes,
you can't quit. You got to keep going.
Oh, I got burned once. I can't ever do this again.
Right, because together we are better. Like, we really are. We are a community, social-driven species. We need each other to get courage from each other, get support, and those kind of things.
And that's kind of another reason. Again, with going back into the show, it's why we love connecting with, because it's that energy. It's that Cheryl and I are sitting here this morning, just like the 3 minutes out. Just all right.
It's like the worst part.
Come on, let's go. Just want to get out there and talk to you guys.
Yeah. So we are going to talk about a podcast that we really enjoyed, but we listened to recently. We're going to share some stuff that we recently listened to that we found inspiring. This is kind of a Simon Sinek themed kind of episode. And the latest podcast, he's been on a lot of podcasts lately because he's been promoting his book. He has a new book. But he's been on Entree Leadership here recently, and that's a fantastic podcast in itself. But episode 158, he talks about the number one question for success. And I highly, highly recommend it. Leave the link below. I'll do that today. And that's just a great episode to listen to.
And whether you're a business owner, a community leader, working in a nonprofit, a volunteer organization,
or just have thoughts of doing any of that stuff.
Yeah, and just need that. I'm not the right person. I don't know if I can. Some of the stuff he really talks about with leadership, it makes you feel like I can do that.
Oh, yes.
One thing to paraphrase a section out of that, he talks about a leader doesn't focus on results. A leader focuses on the people, and the people focus on the results. And by putting the right people in the right places and making a good fit, it really will excel in whatever that thing is.
Yeah. And then I want to try and keep this shorter. So I don't want to go into another minutes. I don't want to go down another rabbit hole. So I wanted to leave with a quote from Simon Sinek also. Working hard for something that we don't care about is stress. Working hard for something that we love is passion. And we have passion for you. We have passion to help you succeed. We have We want to hear about your ideas and your goals and what you're wanting to do and what you're inspired to do. We've heard a lot of inspirational stories. We're 3 episodes in now, and we've probably heard like half a dozen stories from other people that have been inspired to start their own thing. So that's our why. Like, that gives me goosebumps, y'all. Like, that's awesome.
And that's the fuel. If more people can go out there and do their
Yes.
thing and be happy and be passionate, it's just going to make it so much better.
It will.
So you guys have a great week. Thank you so much for joining
Yes,
us.
thank you. We
And,
appreciate you so much.
We will see you next Tuesday, 8 a.m.
Oh, what are we talking about? Rejection proof next week?
Yeah. I've finished up a book, Rejection Proof, by Jean. I'm probably terribly pronouncing it.
If you wanted to listen to it, and then we'll talk about it next week.
Yes.
All right.
Thanks, guys. We'll
Have
talk
a
to
great
you soon.
day.